When else get their calves like messed up? For some reason, when I do high reps on calves, it always like fucks my shit up. Like my shit really hurts right now. I don't know if I can deadlift today. It's kind of upsetting me. How did you learn how to manipulate water? I just read about it online. In all honesty, I forget exactly which article it was, but it was a pretty good one. Fuck, I think I got a bookmark somewhere. I missed that last question about the full range of motion. Do you know calves? Why do you squat high bar? I squat high bar because that's just the way I learned to squat. So excuse me, I've only been powerlifting, competing in powerlifting for 2 years, but I've been squatting since I was like 16, so about 12 to 13 years. And I always squat high bar. On top of that, I'm also just very quad dominant. I don't have a lot of shoulder mobility, so it's just a lot easier for me to do high bar. I've done low bar, and I really only get like another 20 to 15, like 15, 20 pounds out of it. And I also just get a ton of injuries with it, so I'm more than likely going to stick with high bar. What's up, dude? Do you compare yourself to a superhero like a lot of people? No. No, that's not my thing. Although I do feel like my gym is like Gotham City at times with how some of the people look. They're like a bunch of Batman villains. But no, I don't compare myself to a superhero. How much is your online coaching? It depends what you're looking for. Just send me an email to growoakstrong at gmail.com. You like Batman? I do like Batman, probably because I'm from New York and I feel like Gotham City is really Manhattan. Not to compare myself to a superhero. But Batman is probably my favorite superhero. The fuck? PRs, how often do you attempt them? Depends what you mean by PR, I guess. I do a lot of the way I train in general revolves around a lot of different rep PRs. So whether it's 5 rep PRs, 3 rep maxes, stuff like that, I'm hitting them week in, week out. Actual 1 rep maxes on the actual main 3 lifts, I don't hit them often, maybe once per training cycle on each. I'm not Batman. I wish I was. I mean, he's supposed to be a billionaire, so that'd be pretty cool. But no, unfortunately, I'm not Batman. How important and how often do you recommend doing partial range of motion lifts? Um, it depends on the lift and it depends on your specific weaknesses. If you have a specific weakness like lockout on bench press, then usually I'd have a client doing board presses every single week if that's their issue. But if you don't have a specific issue, then it's not as necessary. Batman only deadlift 600. I don't even know how you know that, but I'm kind of disappointed in Batman if that's the case. Especially with that suit, I would think he could at least, I don't know, get some leverage out of it to get up to 800. In the off season, do you bump up the training volume? I tried to. It was really rough this off season for whatever reason. I just couldn't get those reps up on squats, but I'll work it out. Mm, Thoughts on a slingshot? The slingshot's good. It didn't really help me because I have lockout issues. So I never really got that benefit people get because I'm very strong off my chest to begin with. So I can never really bench more with it. It would just give me a couple more reps, so it would kind of help, but not really. But everyone else I see use it seems to help a lot. Me, usually the overload, I'll just wrap my elbows. Yeah, that's true. He's doing too much cardio. Lockout issues. Do you do pin presses? I don't do pin presses because like I think they're a very good exercise, but you have to do them perfectly or else they become a high risk exercise. And a lot of times where I would do them, like I just couldn't stay symmetrical and things like that. So when you get that issue, then you start like getting shoulder issues. So I stay away from them. But they are a very good exercise if you can do them perfectly. If you don't do them perfectly, they become high risk. Do I floor press? I used to floor press a lot. It's a big part of how I got to my 400-pound bench when I finally got to 400 pounds. I don't really floor press anymore. I probably should, but the thing with floor pressing is it doesn't put you in an optimal position to press with your chest, but it does help a lot with your shoulder strength. So it is a great exercise. I just don't really use it anymore. I used to use it a lot though. How important do you think incline is for bench progression? Um, I don't really do that anymore either. I'm not sure I miss it, but a lot of bigger bench pressers swear by it, so I can't really say it's not a good thing. It's hard for me to say. I mean, me specifically for my body, just I have poor shoulder mobility, so doing it just becomes a pain in the ass. What do you do then? For shoulders, lately I've been doing a lot of standing Arnold presses. They've been working for me. I do a lot of I'll do shoulder presses with a landmine. That works for me. Just lateral raises, high volume work for me for shoulders. What percentage of your training would you consider hypertrophy and how often? I mean, I wouldn't look at it on a percentage basis. I would just higher reps in general. I would just consider hypertrophy. Me, usually I stick to lower reps on the main exercises, on your main barbell exercises, and I do higher reps on my accessory work, which would usually be on my cable machines, whether that's bicep curls or tricep extensions, things like that, like leg curls, quad extensions. That's how I kind of do my hypertrophy work. I guess it's what people consider power building. What's going on out there? Anybody deadlifting today? I think I'm gonna deadlift later. If my calves can stop acting up and I can stop being a pussy. Do you have a belt boner? I don't. Funny thing about that old belt thing, if that's what you're talking about, I think that's how I started off with Pioneer Fit, because he saw me with that terrible belt. And he was like, I just have to make you a belt because that shit's terrible. So he started making me belts just because he just couldn't watch me deadlift in that belt any longer. Do you offer advice for supplements? To an extent. It depends. I mean, I'm not like a nutritionist or a pharmacist or anything like that. What'd you deadlift? Lift stuff. 135 kilos? Pounds? Kilos? What? I don't even know what that means. 120, 135 at 20 pounds? Are you a baby? Or... Next time when you cut for your meat, eat curry over rice. I guarantee you'll gain 40 pounds plus. Okay then. One of the good, I actually found a new comp day or a day after weighing, whatever nice thing to eat. Sushi rice is fucking awesome for after weigh-ins. I found out it really, I don't know, it sat well in my stomach. I usually always eat rice, but sushi rice, for whatever reason, I guess it has vinegar in it and it just digests really well. It's still high in sodium. I'm definitely gonna stick with that. Who's the biggest lifter you've ever seen in person? I guess that'd be between Milanichev and Derek Kendall. I think they're about the same body weight. Derek Kendall's a little taller, probably lower body fat, and he holds a lot of his weight, like specifically in his shoulders. And Milanichev's just extremely thick. He's just fucking jacked. Eric Leibridge is also a very large mammal. I'm fat losing weight, but what body fat percent should powerlifters aim for? It really depends on you. I will say I've seen some powerlifters probably get to too low of a body fat percent to the point that it starts causing injuries. So I don't know if you want to be too lean, but it really depends on you and your goals. I don't think a powerlifter should really be like in the single digits. I think it would start causing more bad than good. Do you rotate your arms outward, bending the bar in all three lifts? Let me think about that. Bench press, yes. Squats, I pull towards myself, so no. And deadlifts, I don't think I pull out or in. I pull more straight up. I see what you're saying. I do try to, I can't think of the word, but kind of flex my lats to get tighter and to activate them. What weight class did you start competing in? My very first competition, I competed in the 242s. I just walked in the same day. I think I actually weighed like 235. For the most part, I just go back and forth between 242 and 220s. Are you a 5%er? No, I don't even know what that is. I don't know if you talk about like the religion or I think it's like a supplement company like that. What do you think of Pete Rubish? He's a strong dude. A lot of those younger guys are really strong. Deadlifts, any way to help lift off? It depends on what your problem is with lift off. If it's a leg drive problem, if it's a just getting tight enough issue, it really would depend on your specific situation. Opinion on Chad Wesley Smith? He's just a big dude that's strong as fuck. I think he was like a national. I know he used to do track too. I think he was a shot putter, but he's really strong. How long is your training cycle? Peaking usually 8 to 10 weeks, maybe 12, but usually 8 to 10. How long have you been lifting? Since I was 16. One of my track coaches started making me put on weight, and it really helped my speed that year, so I've been lifting ever since. Ever since then, I loved it. I think I got time for like one or two more questions. Biggest meet you competed in? I would definitely say Boss of Bosses last weekend. That meet was phenomenal. Besides that, the World Unity meets are huge. Yeah, those two meets, but Boss of Bosses is easily the best competition I've been to. I could pull 765 with no problem, but I have small hamstring tears whenever I squat over 500. That's kind of weird because usually the hamstring issues would come from the deadlift because it's going to stretch out your hamstring more than on a squat. So I don't know. I check to see if it's actually a hamstring or if it's more of a glute issue. But yeah, that's kind of weird because usually the hamstring issues come in on deadlifts. I think I got time for one more question. Kind of scared what it's going to be. I squat time. ATG. Do you ever draw upon anger and negativity when you're lifting? I probably used to, but I mean, it doesn't really take that anymore. I mean, I definitely get angry, but not necessarily about a specific thing. I used to probably get pissed about specific things, but it doesn't really take that anymore. It's more of a focus thing and getting concentrated. But yeah, I think I gotta bounce, guys. Sorry, but I might come back later if you guys like the Q&A. I might I don't know. What time is it? 3? I don't know. We'll see. Maybe another Q&A today, or I might deadlift later at the gym and try to do that. It's rough with the vertical video. I wish they had horizontal because it makes it just when you're trying to convert it to YouTube and stuff, it just makes it annoying. But whatever. I'm sure they'll figure it out. Other than that.